राव सर, श्रीनिवासन राव
बरोबर
सर.
आहे. बरोबर आहे. काही हरकत नाही.
Can we start, madam?
Pahade sir, I think he's talking to somebody else. Speaker is muted.
सर फोनवर बोलतात बहुतेक.
Sutkar sir.
Yes, madam.
Hello.
Yes, madam. Just speak. Yes, you are audible, madam. Just speak.
Sutkar sir.
Yes, madam. Yes.
Vote of thanks BN नरवाडे सर करणार आहेत.
Okay, okay.
त्यांचं त्यांचं नाव घ्या.
येस
Okay.
सर, सुरू करूयात आपण. शॅल वी बिगिन?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
I request Borkar, madam. Can you welcome Pahade sir? Hello. Okay, welcome, sir. In second day session first, we are most welcome by organizing team and all participants present over this meeting. Welcome, sir. Your discussion will be very fruitful, and now we can start.
Thank you so much, Sutkar sir. Yeah, shall we begin? Yeah. Fine. Just one. Yeah. Let's start with my presentation. Yesterday we had seen the first two attributes. The first one was curricular. Majority of it goes with autonomous colleges. There are hardly three metrics or three questions that go with the affiliated colleges. Then yesterday we also saw something about teachers, the second about faculty profile, where majority of questions go to the teachers and they go to the institution. And it talks about how the institution is going to select its teacher, how the teachers are going to be nurtured, what is the qualification of the teachers. Today we go into the remaining attributes. I will be focusing more on 5 and 7. They are the big attributes that we need to know. Physical attribute is physical infrastructure that you are able to see. This physical infrastructure talks about, just one minute. This physical infrastructure Uh, it has it applies to affiliated colleges. It also applies to autonomous colleges, and it also applies to university. But the weightage for affiliated colleges is more than that for the university and autonomous college. But simple है. The college becomes an autonomous college because it has a good infrastructure. It is expected that university must have a good infrastructure. So they are not spending, I'm saying they are not keeping high weightage, bigger weightage to university and autonomous college. But the affiliated college needs to have a good infrastructure, and many of our colleges still are in a developing stage, and therefore the weightage for affiliated colleges is more. This is point number one. Second, this is also an advantage to the affiliated college. You can score very well. Now, what does this particular metric say? Metric means question, make a mention. What does it say? Number one, physical infrastructure. How is the physical infrastructure? If we are talking about how, it means what is there in that infrastructure. You have to tell whatever you have. You have to give a detailed list. This is the rule. They have given a large number of things over here. That doesn't mean that everything, you will be having everything out of it. But whatever you have, it needs to be given. This is one part. Second part, this has to be classified as academic infrastructure, non-curricular infrastructure, and areas. Means what? Academic infrastructure is where academics takes place. So all teaching halls, classrooms, laboratories, that will be coming under academic infrastructure. But when we make a mention of seminar hall, conference hall, it becomes a non-curricular aspect or a non-curricular area. And when we are talking about grounds, open spaces, we are talking about the areas. So while classifying, we have to classify it in these three ways. And the most important part happens to be, you have to see to it that you list properly. Bigger the list, the better it is. Bigger the list, the better it is. Why? No one is going to come to see your campus. So you need to describe your campus properly. And therefore, what is there in your physical infrastructure? Whether there are teaching laboratories, research laboratories, hostel, canteen, sports grounds, clean washrooms for boys, for girls, portable drinking water, language laboratory, auditorium, gymnasium, seminar halls, health and wellness center, guest house, transportation facilities, museum artifacts, other anything else. Bigger the details, more the details, the better it is. This is the rule. And as I told you, while describing it, you will make it into three parts. The academic infrastructure, the non-curricular infrastructure, and the open areas or the general areas. So if I am talking about, in this list, if I am talking about the academic infrastructure, teaching laboratories, I'm just taking an example, teaching laboratories, research laboratories, then you are able to see language laboratory, then you are able to see classrooms. These would be the areas of academic infrastructure. For non-curricular areas, you will be able to see some of these auditorium or seminar halls, or for that matter, health and wellness centers. All these would come into that part. And the third part would be open areas, open grounds, gymnasium, all that would come into areas. So now what will be the proofs? The proofs here will be, please pay attention, this is important. The proof will be geotag photos. But then when to take that photo? The most recent photos are to be taken. It means when you are writing down the report, at that time, just 10 days, 5 days before submission of the report, you have to take the photos. Which photos to take? Every photo to be taken. If you have 30 classrooms, you have to show 30 classrooms. You will not say, I will show 2 classrooms and I will say the rest of them are like that only. They will not accept it. If there are 30 classrooms, you have to show 30 classrooms. What more do you need to do over here? See to it that now you have time, you can do this. See to it that you have a proper floor plan. Get your floor plan ready. Floor plan means on the ground floor, what all things are there. On the first floor, what all things are there. This is one part. Second part, when you make a mention that as you enter, there is an open space called porch, measure it. Somewhere write down measurement, so many square feet. Then also make a mention what all things are there in that particular hall, in that particular porch. Maybe there are notice boards, 5 notice boards. There may be some provision made for the Divyanga students, ramps, for example. Maybe there is some water provision for drinking water. Make a list of it there, a small list. Make a small, a small list which is put up over there. On a plate, you can write it down and keep it there. So that at one point of time, you can even focus that and show that these are the things that are present over here. In the classroom, what do you have? In the classroom, you have, let us say, a smart board. Maybe you have a blackboard. Maybe you have 3 fans. Maybe in some particular room, you have 2 air conditioners. Mention it. Dimensions of the room. Put it on the door only, in one corner. So that at entry itself, you are able to see what all things are there. How many chairs are present? How many tables are present? It will help you to keep a proper record of the things also. Very recently, I had been to one of the institutions for an audit. What I saw was there were chairs. The chairs were not numbered. So how many chairs are there in the institution? Nobody knew. I asked the coordinator, how many chairs do you have in the computer lab? She started counting. I said, you need to know now. This is also a way by which you can, this is the way of quality. So this is one more part that comes in. Second, you come to know what is missing. Otherwise, it becomes public property. Things start getting lost. Furthermore, this was about physical infrastructure. The next is the learning resources. What all learning resources that is with library is going to come in over here. What are they asking? What is the percentage expenditure on purchase of e-books and subscription to digital resources year-wise over the last 3 years? They will ask you what is the subscription on books, but they will now focus on e-books. Now, why e-books? Why digital resources? In the previous NAAC, they have understood something. लोग क्या कहते हैं? We have only so much of space, so new books is not possible. So we are not able to purchase new books. And therefore you are able to see that our books purchase is limited. Now what do they say? Don't show us that. Dakhus naka. Just don't show it. Show us how many digital books you have. It would mean that you will be purchasing a digital library. I mean, you will be renting a digital library. Databases, as they are called as. So how many databases do you have? We have 3 databases. How many books are there in the database? 1 lakh books, 2 lakh books, 3 lakh books. So this is one way by which you are able to add your database, add your books. And then the second part comes, is it so? Show us the register. I mean, just show us how many users are there. That comes out as a digital data again. So you may be having a digital resource, but is it used? How many of them are, how many teachers are using? It is very common. One very common question that used to come in the library that time, physical visit. What are the footfalls in the library? Means how many people go to the library? It is expected 10% of the footfall. So therefore, if it is 10% of the footfall, that would mean 10% of teachers visiting library almost every day and 10% of students visiting library every day, every month. That is a accepted benchmark. Now here, digital footfall will be checked. They will say, give the digital footfall. You have to keep the digital footfall ready. They may even say, give us the link, we will check it. How many users are using the digital library? This is a very important aspect. We have library and nobody uses it. The teachers don't go in the library. Why teachers don't go in the library? Because they give notes to the students. This is my thought. What happens when they give notes to the students? Then they don't go in the library and students also don't go in the library. तो इतना ही पढ़ो बहुत हो गया. So they don't know the books and therefore students also don't know the books. And if you are not pursuing the student to go in the library and you are not making him read, you are not a good teacher. I used to do one thing. I'm just sharing. I used to give 2 assignments. The one assignment used to say, I have referred these books. 1, 2, 3, and 4 books. Let us say 4 books in genetics for this particular chapters. These are reference books. And then I used to create something called as a rubric. I wish I can show you a rubric. Just give me a minute's time so that I'd like to tell you what is the teach. It's one of the teaching methods that I want to make a mention of. Indirectly, it becomes a teaching method. Please give me a minute's time. I'll just show you a rubric, how a rubric can be done, especially in engineering and at many other places. So rubrics are very common. But I'll just show you one. I must be having at least one. I have many. Let's hope I am able to show you a rubric. Please give me 1 minute. Yes. Sorry, just 1 minute. Yeah, here we have. I had it for every subject, but I'll just show you one of them. Fine. Now, for those who do not know, let me tell you. This is the way a rubric can be done. Now, I used to give them an assignment. Now, when an assignment is given, there was a rubric. Rubric is a framework. Rubric means a framework. You play a game, no? That is a rubric. That's also called. It's a kind of a framework. So in this framework, what was the note was referring original notes is essential. Additional reading is expected. All of you must be able to see it. All submissions are, this was during COVID, all submissions are to be done in PDF. Okay. If your attendance is less than 75% in the week, your assignment will not be accepted. Submission after due date will not be checked. The present assignment is counted along with the attendance for internal marks. These were my guidelines. Now, what is there in that rubric?
खलील भैया अभी कौन
Salil bhai is there a little busy. You can shut down your voice, please. Now, how am I going to check? That is what I used to tell. All B products. For example, the question was on B products. This was the question. Rubric for B products. The question was write down all about the B products. If it is excellently written, all B products understood and written in your words as per the notes. Point number 1. So you have to refer the notes. Point number 2, additional material referred in own words and new points mentioned. Point number 3, work presentation is clean and error free. And point number 4, references must be given. If you do this, you get 9 to 10 marks. If you are writing down all the B products are understood and written in your words as per the notes, you have done some additional material and your work presentation is clean, then in that case you get 7 to 8 marks. But you have not done additional work. So utna hi milega. Furthermore, all B products are understood and written as per the notes. Maybe a few new points here and there. Work presentation is clean. And the work is completed. The B products are understood, written in your words as per the notes. Work presentation is clean and error free. So you are able to see if you are going to work on your own, you are going to get marks. So here what I am trying to tell you is, if you prepare a rubric, this is a very simple rubric. If you prepare a rubric and if you give it to the student before at the time of assignment, the student will work additional than what is there in your notes. The student will go to the library. The student will refer to the materials online. The student will read additional and he will try to add something to it. Over a period of time, his notes will be better than what we have given. And he will refer his own notes. This is the objective of giving a rubric. This is the way by which you can force the student to go in the library. You can tell these are the references. The student will have to go in the library. He may go in the library, she may go in the library, they may sit over there, they may read, they may write. They may go take photographs. As they do, they may go home, they may find it out, they may analyze, they may write it down in their words. So even then the book is being read. But what I'm trying to tell you is you need to focus, you need to see to it that students refer the library And footfalls in the library play an important role because we are currently talking about the library. So unless we promote our students to go to the library, things will not change. This is what I'm trying to tell you. Then percentage expenditure on purchases of e-books and subscription to digital resources year-wise in last 3 years in lakhs. This is a big expenditure that comes in. Second, total expenditure excluding salary year-wise over last 3 years. So you're talking about how much spending have you done and how much spending has been done on the books. That will give you percentage expenditure. Let us say the institution has spent, let us say institution has spent 80 lakhs. And they have spent 2 lakhs on the books or on the e-books. So 2 divided by 80, that comes in points. So it's a small expenditure. Furthermore, your expenditure is small, and how is the usage? That may be all the more smaller. Therefore, you need to see to it that you keep on promoting the students to go to the library in a variety of ways. So this was, what is the proof that comes in over here? Audited income and expenditure statement signed by the CA and the principal. They are going to play an important role.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, please.
What should be appropriate expenditure on books and purchase of e-journal?
Can we take it later on? Let me complete. Will
Okay,
it be
okay,
okay if we take it later after the attribute is over?
okay, sir.
Okay.
Okay.
We'll definitely talk about it. Research resources. Now, we talked about physical resources. Then we talked about library, second. Then now we are talking about research resources. Here we are again talking about the library also. Okay. This is one part. But along with it, we are also talking about some other softwares. For example, research resources available at the institution over last 3 years. How many e-journals do you have? How many consortia do you have? How many subscriptions do you have? How many memberships subscriptions do you have to show the Sindhu? Whether you have plagiarism check softwares, whether you have licensed or statistical software, whether you have discipline specific software. Means what? Discipline specific software means software used for a particular subject or for a particular discipline. For example, chemistry has a software called as ChemWin. It's one of the old softwares. So for writing down the formulae for a variety of things, ChemWin can be used. So you may have something that is very specific to mathematics, something very specific to statistics, there's something very specific to chemistry, something very specific to a particular subject. Do you have those kind of softwares? Furthermore, discipline specific research laboratories. Do you have specific laboratories? Do you have a research laboratory for chemistry? Do you have a central laboratory with all the equipment and tools? Do you have a research laboratory, a separate research laboratory if there's an MSc going on over there for physics, for zoology, whatever the subject is? So here you are able to see you have to give the description of all these aspects. If you have these software, then in that case you need to give e-subscription letters, membership letters, bills as proofs, and of course utilization that will come in. So these are very important aspects that we need to understand. Now when we are talking about IT facilities, this is 3.4. First one was physical, second was library, third was research, fourth is IT infrastructure. What is the bandwidth of internet? Is it at least 100 Mbps? What is the student to computer ratio? Is it 1:5? These are the good scores. How many laptops and desktops do you have for the students? So here you are able to see these. Now how will they check it out? Bills of the latest completed years. Stock register, how many computers do you have? Because your stock register makes a mention as to what are the specifications of the computers. Geotagged photos of virtual laboratories, classrooms, augmented reality, so a variety of kind of laboratories that you are able to see. Stock registers, as I made a mention. Minutes of IT committee and any other relevant committees talking about what are the purchases and how it is used. It means you need to have an IT committee or an IT infrastructure policy. You can have a infrastructure policy which will talk about these parameters. So that is the way you are able to see. Then what is the picture in with respect to Divyangajan friendly facilities? Do you have barrier-free environments? Do you have lifts? Do you have ramps? Do you have Divyangajan friendly washrooms? You have to take geotag photos and videos of it. When you travel by an aeroplane, you are able to see there are signages. You have to move in this way. Assuming so that there is a plane crash. Assuming so that the electrical system fails. Those signages on the floor, they can be seen, they are fluorescent. The person can move towards that direction. So in the same way, do you have these signages? Tactile paths as they are known as. Do you have some specific kind of lighting? Do you have display boards and signposts which can be read by the Divyanga students? Do you have any additional facilities for the Divyanga students? Maybe websites. For example, our partner White Code makes wonderful websites which are Divyangajan friendly. Do you have screen reading software? Because it comes with bright colors, contrasts, so that they are able to read if they have weak eyesight. Do you have any other machinized equipments? Do you have any provision for inquiry and information, or maybe a human assistant? Soft copies of reading material. Have you kept it? Do you have anything in braille so that the reading can be done? All necessary photographs need to be done. Details of the software needs to be done. If they have been purchased or the purchase details need to be given, whatever it is. And then you have innovation resources. Now this goes more with, this does not go with the affiliated colleges. Research laboratories, innovation laboratories are called as a tinkering labs. Technology business incubators and etc. That goes primarily with the university, it does not go with the colleges. So here you are able to see these are the aspects that go with the with criteria, attribute 3, physical infrastructure. Number 1, physical infrastructure. Number 2, library learning resources. Number 3, research resources. Number 4, IT infrastructure. Number 5, Divyangajan friendly facilities. And number 6, innovation resources, which is not for us. So 5 things. Now, sir had asked me a question as to how much of spending should be done on the library. This was the question that Sutkar sir had asked me right now. According to the benchmark, it is 8 to 10% of the expenditure. Ideally of the budget, but if not of the budget, at least 8 to 10% of the expenditure. So if your spendings is, let us say 1 crore every year, then in that case, at least 8 lakhs are being spent on the library. Library is a very, 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 very important resource. You need to see to it that your students go to the library. You need to see to it that they learn in the library. Again, when I come to attribute 5, I am going to talk about library. So this was about attribute 3. let's go to attribute 4, financial resources. This goes more with the management. Teachers have very little to do with finances. उनको मालूम नहीं होता है कितना खर्चा हो रहा है. उनको अपना पगार मालूम होता है कि what is the salary that I get. The rest of the things don't go with. But what are those parameters? Let us try to understand. Number 1, understand capital income, capital expenditure, revenue income, revenue expenditure. Grants that you have that are going to be used for building funds, for infrastructure creation, for new purchases. That is capital income. And what you have spent is capital expenditure. सोप्या शब्दात सांगायचं, in easy words. Your fee that you receive, research grants that you receive, salary grants that you receive, alumni contribution that you receive, small consultancies that you receive, endowment that you receive, there is some fund that is coming. All this goes with revenue, income, and all the spending done is revenue expenditure. This is simplest way. This is the way the audits are done. This is the way it will be asked now. What we need: audited income and expenditure statement certified by the chartered accountant and signed by the principal. Very often what happens, management says, हमारा कॉलेज के लिए कुछ नहीं. We don't have a separate budget for the college. It is the संस्था budget. We have 10 colleges, we have 4 colleges, we have 5 colleges, 3 schools. Then they say, okay, not an issue, it is okay. But you are spending on the college. They say, okay, then you do an audit extract. From that, whatever you are spending on, whatever you have spent on the college, separate it out and say that this is the spending on that particular. These are called as audit extracts. If you don't have audited income and expenditure statements in the name of the institution, you can have audit extracts certified by the CA and by the principal. Thirdly, sustainability. Now this goes with autonomous colleges, not with affiliated colleges. How do you survive? You are receiving a fee, but you need to have money. How do you survive? What is that money how do you get that money so that you can grow? You can survive. The colleges have their faculty FDs. They have somewhere invested into bonds at time. These days you are able to see. So what are the strategies for financial sustainability, for creation of funds, that is corpus, and for diversification of investment? Where do I put the money so that my money grows? I am talking for an institution. This is what comes under sustainability as financial sustainability, which of course your college and your management has to give. Similarly, what are the financial controls? Where do you control? For example, they will make a mention saying that yes, our principal has the authority of signing a bill or a check up to 5,000 rupees or up to 1 lakh rupees, whatever it is. So here you are able to see what are the mechanisms for financial control. At what time will things be checked? How much of spending can be done after which there is a check? You cannot spend on. Second part, every institution does audits, internal audits, financial audits I am talking about. Whether there are financial audits taking place, whether there is an internal audit, whether there is an external audit in place, and what is the risk that that is being worked out. So what are the risk management approaches that are being followed? At what time spendings will not be done? how much to spend, how much not to spend, when to spend, how much money to keep. Whatever happens, this money will not be used. Very often we find, I have heard teachers speaking, our institution has so much of money, but our salary is not paid before 15th. This was in one of the places in Madhya Pradesh. So the management made a mention, when we are talking to the management made a mention, we have invested the money. And that money is available to us only after 10th. Some, क्या कहते हैं उसको? That is added and some salaries are done. So here you are able to see that what are the risks that the management is taking. All this would be with an audit extract certified by CA or an audit income expenditure statement certified by the accountant. So this was about criteria 3, I'm saying, sorry, attribute 3, attribute 4. Shall we take a small, you know what I'm saying? May I ask you a few questions? Yeah. Please come to the chat box. Fantastic. Now, can you tell me the 4 names of the 4 attributes we have learned so far? Attribute number 1, 2, 3, and 4. What is attribute number 1? What is attribute number 2? What is attribute number 3? And what is attribute number 4? I am not expecting big details. I am only expecting titles. Yes, please. Curriculum designs, Dr. Sanjay Darvi makes a mention 1. Absolutely right. Number 2. Come on, quickly. Faculty resources. Okay. Okay. Faculty resource. Dr. Jamil has also made a mention as faculty resources. Okay. Okay. Teaching and learning. Is it teaching and learning or learning and teaching? We have not come to teaching and
financial
learning as yet.
resources.
We have not come to it as yet. So how have you put teaching and learning as such? Faculty resources was second. What was third? Infrastructure. Absolutely right. Manoj ji makes a mention of it. Sanjay Darvi ji also makes a mention of it. Absolutely right. Many of them are telling. What is the fourth one? Financial management. No? Dr. Siddiqui makes a mention of it. Very good. Thank you so much. So to end up, number 1 is about, when we are talking about the 4, with the number 1 goes with, of course, with the curriculum design. Number 2 goes with faculty resources. Number 3 goes with infrastructure. And number 4 goes with financial resources. Absolutely right. Now, with this brief about these 4, let us go to the 5th one, which is very important for us. Let us look into the 5th one. Fine. 5th one is learning and teaching. They have not said it as teaching and learning. They have made a mention it as learning and teaching. It means that they are focusing more on learning rather than teaching. What we do is teaching. What they do is learning. As simple as that. For affiliated colleges, the weightage is 150, huge weightage. Now let us look into what is this particular aspect talking about. Just 1 minute. Yeah. Attribute number 5, learning and teaching. 5.1. Teaching learning strategies include group learning and teaching. I'll just read this first. Individual learning or self-study. Game-based learning, technology-based learning, peer teaching. Now, I have a question to ask you. Let us think about group learning and teaching. Okay. Group learning and teaching. I am talking to the teachers, so I am asking you this question. If we are talking about group learning and teaching, what is the role of a teacher? What we do is we dictate, they write. Now you are talking about group learning and now how are you going to play a big role? Okay. Manoj ji makes a mention, you are just an observer, देखने वाले, चलने वाले, चलने दो. Direction and effectiveness, that's what Dr. Pathan makes a mention of. Himaji says it's a facilitator, absolutely right. Coordinate the group, very nice. That's yet another good feature that you have made a mention of. Anything else? Anything else? Resource provider, absolutely right. Very nice. Team building, very good. That's great. Dr. Vibhati makes a mention. Farhinji makes a mention as resource providing. Shaila Sarang says, okay, to instruct at some particular point of time. Very nice. Guide the learner towards the right path and also learn in the process. Fantastic. Dr. Hema Iyengar makes a mention of it. Education approach where we work together is what Dr. Jamil makes a mention of. Very nice answers. I'm very happy to hear these answers. Okay. Krishna Age makes a mention, facilitator for collaborative learning, monitoring and directing. That's what Dr. Manwar makes a mention. Fantastic. Let's come to it. You have given good answers. Thank you so much. It's a nice team. It's nice to interact with this kind of team. Okay, so now let's go ahead. So you're able to see what is, in other words, what is NAAC talking about? NAAC is talking about you teach less, but they learn more. You teach less, but they learn more. This is what NAAC is talking about. It means that you may not teach 100%, but they must learn 100%. And then the proofs will come. Now, we'll look into the details. What you have answered is going to be a part of this story again. So when we are talking about group learning and teaching, how can it be done? It could be done by cooperative learning. Students will work in diverse teams to solve the problems and complete the tasks. Or it could be peer tutoring, which has again come later on. Advanced learners support others in mastering the concepts. When this happens, things are very easy. When the friend tells कि ये आसान है, so they feel it is ये आसान है. But when you say it is easy, बोलते तुम तो टीचर हो, तुमको तो सब आता है, हमको नहीं समझता है. So there is a mental block that comes into picture. It could be a group investigation when small research topics are given. Small groups work on the topic collaboratively, dividing into subtasks and synthesizing the findings into collective presentations. So they collectively are presenting it out. It could be a learning cycle groups. Students with similar learning needs are grouped temporarily and targeted instruction and practice. Some of them are not able to understand. So they are made birds of the same feather flock together and they are made to learn and they will help each other. Team-based projects, you are able to see cross-disciplinary teams tackle real-world challenges. This is very common with engineering students, with MBA students. Even with social sciences students, they are given all these things. So cross-disciplinary teams tackle real-world challenges and then they present the basic work. This is one way out of group learning. This is a little bigger that I wanted to make a mention of, and that is pedagogical approaches, that is individual or self-study. Now here what you have answered is, now what are the different methods of studying is on one side. And second is, what is the role of a teacher is in the second side, that what I have seen. Guided self-study, for example, in MOOC courses, you are guided also and you have to do self-study also. So when your individual is learning, this is one part. He is looking at the content, he is learning the content, he is writing down the content. It could be an independent research. For example, writing down a research paper. Mastery learning, where learning works through material sequentially demonstrating mastery. For example, passing a quiz at 90%. You are given a quiz. You have to prepare yourself to this extent that unless you get 90% of marks, you are not going to count. We are not going to, benchmark is 90%, just as you have 40%, you are 90%. So unless you do it, so therefore learning becomes very, very terrific. Furthermore, practice and drill, independent repetition of skills for fluency. So you are able to see a lot of practice examples are given in mathematics, for example. So literally 100 examples for one type of problems. Then reflective learning, the learner engages in analyzing the past experiences that you are able to see. Exploratory learning, the learner follows the curiosity browsing. So he keeps on browsing. He, on his own, is trying to learn it out. So here you are able to see the role of the teacher. He's a designer and a curator. He designs the assignments. He facilitates learning. What answers you have given, there over here you can see it. So curate means create that kind of content which they are going to learn. Furthermore, you are able to see just. Furthermore, they are facilitators. They can be resource providers, as somebody made a mention some time ago. You are learning, I am giving you the content. Motivators, they motivate, they counsel, they help to set realistic targets. They help them to achieve the minimal, it meaningfully. They give encouragement. They acknowledge their efforts. What you're doing is very good. Go ahead. That motivates the student. They guide the learners in self-assessments that you are able to see. They monitor and assess. They are also looking at it and they are also assessing it out. So you're able to see in a variety of ways the teacher can play. Now, why am I writing this down? This is not given by NAAC. They have only asked you, how do you do that? Many of us do something of this sort. We need to document it properly. Here proofs are needed. Maybe in the classroom, some activities are given. Now, if he is doing it on his own, how are you going to prove it? Your lesson plans can prove it. In your lesson plan, you have given all this data, and that is where you have to prove it out. So there are two plans that we talk about. We talk about two plans. Most of us do one plan that is called as a teaching plan. Very few colleges conduct lesson plans. But there is a difference between a teaching plan and a lesson plan. A teaching plan talks about teaching. These are the 30 lectures, these are the topics, I am going to take it this way. These are the recommended number of lectures. These are the actual number of lectures that I am taking. Maybe in case you take a leave, how you have adjusted it out. That's one more thing comes. This is a teaching plan. But a lesson plan is far different from a teaching plan. A lesson plan goes into the subject. They make a mention about this particular topic. Then how are you going to teach? How is the resource? How is the exam going to be conducted? Or what is the assignment that is going to be given? And there can be many other parameters that are going to come. So we need to show it out through our lesson plans. So we need to prepare a lesson plan. That's what actually I'm trying to tell you. And this is the way you will have to prove it out. So you have a lesson plan. Your lesson plan is making a mention of teaching learning mechanism. You're telling you have rubrics. The way rubric is one more way. Some time ago I showed you where you're trying to make him an independent learner. The objective is to create an independent learner. And an independent learner is a leader. That is a leadership quality. So our job is to create leaders. So it is not necessary that you have to teach 100%, but it is necessary that they learn 100%. Yesterday I was talking about COPO mapping. One main objective is to see to it that the student becomes independent learner. It's a big thing that COPO mapping expects or outcome-based education expects, where the teacher is motivating the student to see to it that you learn on your own. And wherever you have a problem, I am behind you. I will see to it that you work it out. These are the things that you are able to see. And therefore, the title is learning and teaching and not teaching and learning. Now, fine. Let's go ahead. These are some additional slides that I have put up. When you're talking about game-based learning, now you can have game-based learning in two ways, especially when we are working in rural areas. Maybe we may not have technological edges to that great extent, especially for small colleges. There can be physical games that can come in. Board games, card games, dice-based games, role-play based games, technology-supported games, simulation, educational games, commercial aspect games, augmented reality games. There are a variety of virtual reality games where nothing is present, but you are able to see those with those things and you are able to imagine out how the things are happening. So gamification is the way by which concepts become very easy, and therefore game-based learning is what they are talking about. There are some other methods also that you are able to see. For example, yeah. There are some other examples also that you are able to see. Peer teaching that has been mentioned out. Think, pair, and share. Make a team. They will think, they will pair, they will share the ideas. Two of them are playing a role. Maybe peer tutoring. One of them is good in academics. He is tutoring the other ones. There can be a jigsaw technique, where one student is doing one part, the other one is doing other part, the third one is doing third part, the fourth one is doing fourth part, the fifth one is doing fifth part. And all of them are going to present. They will discuss with each other, and 5 people know 5 things. Then there is something called as fishbowl mechanism. These are different names that I am giving you. A small group discusses the work while others observe, and then the roles rotate. So there are 10 students. Each one is going to talk something about it, or 20 students, and then they are going to share it out. So observers give the feedback how the work is done. There can be study groups that you are able to see. So they talk about student-led sessions where students are going to solve on their own. And these are some of the methods where students become the peers and they are the ones who are going to help you. So I just spent a little more time on this particular aspect. So just 1 minute. Yeah, this was just 5.1 that I wanted to talk to you. Second part, do you have an ERP or you have an LMS? LMS is Learning Management System. So do you have an ERP? If you have an ERP, ERP has an LMS. Or if you don't have an ERP, but do you have an LMS? If you have an LMS, learning management system, then you have to, how do you use it? You have to describe it out. So do you share your teaching materials on it? Submission of assignments, assessment of outcomes, blended learning and support. Google Classroom is one example of it, but it's not a very effective example, but it's just one example. Very many of them currently are using LMS. So screenshots of every module have to be given. Bills have to be shown that you have an LMS. Yeah, it must reflect in the income expenditure statement. Maybe you have an MOU or an agreement with the company. That proof is going to come in over here. So these are the proofs that you are able to see with LMS. Furthermore, industry academia linkages that you are able to see. How many linkages do you have? This is not there for the affiliated colleges. But then, do you have any kind of linkages? Are there experts lectures coming from the industry? Are there any collaborative workshops, seminars, conferences with industry and stakeholders? Are you conducting any industry visits, field visits? Do you have any internships outside the curriculum? So internship outside the this goes with autonomous colleges and this goes with a university. This does not go with the affiliated colleges. I have kept an A. A would mean it goes for autonomous colleges. We have seen these 4 slides over here. Now we come to assessment components. This was the learning component that had come. We talked about different learning styles, learning teaching methods, learning methods. Then we came to whether there is an LMS available, whether a technological component is available. So these are 2 big things that we have talked about. And then it was the third one was for autonomous colleges, whether you have any industry tie-up. Now, how do you check the papers? How is the assessment? Whether you have a continuous evaluation. Now everywhere there is a continuous evaluation. Whether you have quiz with MCQs, whether you have case studies, whether you have any projects, whether you have any assignments, whether you have seminar presentations, whether you have anything other than this, it means that are you testing your students in different way? There is one examination that is taken and that happens to be paper pencil test. But after that, do you have something else? That is what he is asking. Then what will be the proof? Sample lesson plans, board of examination meetings indicating internal examination will be taken in variety of ways. This is one more proof that can come in. So these are some of the proofs that have been mentioned out. Then how do you support the Divyangajan or how do you support the differential learners? It's not only Divyangajan. How do you support the differential learning? For example, do you have remedial teaching? Do you have bridge courses? Do you have enrichment courses? Do you have language proficiency courses? Do you have teaching and writing in Bharatiya Bhasha? Yesterday we started with COPO mapping. If you know the student very well, then you can conduct this. You can identify the students for remedial and bridge courses very easily. What is to be given in the bridge that can be identified very easily. See, nowhere they are making a mention of COPO mapping for autonomous affiliated colleges, but it is still coming in between. Circular and timetable of differential learning classes, detailed report and photographs of each one. That is what is expected out over here. Whether there is an academic grievances redressal. Now see, our grievances, if you are an affiliated colleges, the grievances go with the university. But if you are into something called as, if you are associated with, if you are an autonomous college, then do you do sharing of copies of answer scripts? Do you do retotaling? Is revaluation available? Is there a case of shortage of attendance and the student is now going to be asked for it? All these things would come in. So what are the document that you need? The proof that you need is going to be a policy document on examination. Furthermore, meetings that are taking place, all these things would reflect out. Cases, how many cases have come? This is in case of autonomous college. Furthermore, again, this goes with autonomous college, though we also need to have our academic calendar. How many teaching days and how many total days? And are they as per the UGC calendar? Then after declaration of the after completion of the syllabus and when exams are taken, in how many days the results have been declared? So average number of days from date of last semester end or year examination to last date of declaration of results. How many days are needed for completion of the results? There are colleges who complete it in 9 and 10 days. So declaration of result, and they are autonomous colleges, of course, I'm not talking about affiliated colleges. Affiliated colleges go with the university. So here we need reports from the controller of examination, COE, annual reports mentioning the necessary details, notified examination date and result declaration date in academic calendars. That is where you are able to see is going to play. This particular attribute is very, very important. That's what I wanted to make a mention of. So this was about attribute number 3, 4, and 5. These are descriptive attributes. Here process is needed. We have talked about the other day, we made a mention of process. So here process is needed, and therefore these 3 are described. Now, do you have any questions to ask?
Sir, I would
You
like
should have questions to ask actually.
I would like to welcome Surendranath Reddy sir, who is IQC Director, Swami
I'm
Raman.
not able to hear you, madam. You need to be a little louder.
Sir, I hearty welcome Surendranath Reddy sir, IQSC Director, Swami Ramananda Tirth Marathwada University, Nagpur.
Okay.
He has joined the session.
We like to see him on the screen.
Okay.
We request him to come on the screen.
Yes. Reddy sir, please show your video or start your video, sir.
Share your screen now. Okay.
Reddy sir, can you hear me?
Call करा sir. Okay, sir. Let us start with question and answer. Those who are having questions can ask. Sutkar sir,
Yes, madam. Yes.
can you please?
Sir, I have joined Reddy sir. We'll be online within few minutes. So with
Okay.
that, those who have any question, they can ask to sir.
Yeah, please ask your questions. Any questions? The challenge here is going to be to prove the kind of method that we have, teaching method that we are following. It is easy to prove that you have an LMS because you have a bill, you have a receipt, you have what you have uploaded, you can show. But you are
Okay.
following a method where it is going to be, let us say, peer learning, or you have a method where you are saying independent learning. How is the role of the teacher? That is going to play a big role. Second part is that how is the teacher going to showcase these documents is going to be a big challenge. So this is the area where we need to start thinking right now.
Yes, sir. Previously, it was easy because there was peer team visit and especially for evaluating teaching learning process. But
Your
now,
voice is, madam, very low.
can you can you hear, sir? Now,
Ah, yes, please speak out.
sir, in previous NAAC accreditation method, it was easy for evaluating teaching learning because
Yes,
peer team visit was there.
yes,
They were coming and having that evaluation.
very true.
Is
But now that story is gone, na?
yeah. In
So
binary
now, therefore,
challenge,
when I'm making a mention, I am saying that what has changed is documentation. Your document needs to be very, very precise.
and
So
so
there is one descriptive part, but along with that descriptive part, you're also proving, giving the necessary proofs. Though they may be representative proofs, even then those representative proofs, if there are 10 departments, there need to be at least 5 to 8 representative, 10 representative proofs coming into picture. So that is the part where the part where description would come in. That is the part where your lesson plans would come in. That is the part where you should be able to convince that this is what I am saying. So this is the big area that needs to be counted out over here.
Yes, sir. One of my question.
Yeah,
Uh, how much expenditure is to be expected from on library, college library?
I made a mention some time ago that it is 8 to 10%
Okay.
of the total expenditure.
Okay.
That is 8 to 10% of the total expenditure.
But for affiliated colleges, the
Affiliated also, the benchmark is around 8 to 10%.
okay. But sometimes we feel it very high as compared to the total budget.
Actually, we have made a habit of not spending on the library. Library is one part where we spend the least. I know some managements, I have talked to them and they say, see, nobody goes in the library, so why spend on the library? Ideally, library is the heart of the institution. And second part is that this is happening because of our teaching methodologies. I put it the other way now.
Yes, we are providing notes and some
Yeah, we are
snacks to
providing
students.
everything. Second part is that we
So
have already told the students that everything is available on the internet. The student does not know what is right. He thinks
yes,
everything is on the internet, but finding it is a big issue. Very often when I give such kind of exercises, and I used to give them, they used to come out with something on internet, but they never knew what it was. So having things on the internet and finding it out in the right way is a big issue.
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Second
We
part is
have
that second part is that giving them the most, see, we are into higher education. And I was talking about, when I was talking about COPO mapping, there are 6 levels that I made a mention of. Remember, understand, apply. These are the basic levels. Analyze, evaluate, and create. These are the advanced levels. We are still focusing on these levels and not on these levels. And these levels can come only with the help of the library. Unless we make them analytical, unless we make them evaluative in their approach, unless we make them creative, things will not change. And since we are giving them notes, we are literally shutting their doors to further thought process. We talk of Baba Sahib Ambedkar and we make a mention saying that when he was there in the West, he used to be in the library from 6 o'clock in the morning to 11 o'clock or 12 o'clock at night. He used to be the first person to enter in and the last person to leave. But these are only told as stories. We don't give them any exercise whereby they will go and sit in the library. No teacher makes a mention saying that I am going to check your material. You go to the library, search the book, get the book. I'd like to share one small story over here deliberately. My, what do you say? My sister's son was studying in one of the universities in Australia. And he was given a list of questions when he joined the MS program. And he was told that you have to answer these 14 questions in 2 years. There was hardly any teaching that would take place, but they had a library access from the home, into the library 24/7. You can go to the library anytime. You can sit in the library. If you want to take a Xerox, there is no issue, but you have to pay something like 260 rupees per page for Xerox in terms of rupees. It was very expensive. The essays, they were to create an essay of that particular 12 or 14 topics, for which they had to refer the library. They can refer the library to any extent. They have to prepare that essay. After they have prepared the essay, they will be typing it out and they will be submitting it out. They can do it at their ease. After that has been done, that would go for, what do you say, plague check. In plague check, if the plague check is less than 10%, then in that case, that would go to the teacher, the one who's guiding him. That teacher will accept it out if he feels it's okay, and then that assignment is over. What did they do with those assignments? Those assignments are available for all other students all over the world. See, the concept of library has changed drastically. Library is no longer a resource provider. Library is a resource creator. And that content used to be is sold all over the world. So look at over here. We are going for autonomy. We are having libraries, but we are not creating any resource. Unless our student is made independent, his life really becomes very difficult when they go abroad for learning, because the style of teaching over here and the style of learning over there are absolutely different. A teacher, I had asked one of the teachers, how many lectures do you have? He said, we have 35 lectures. My colleague said they have more lectures than us. Then I said, what is the duration? In 1 year, we have 35 lectures. In 1 year, we have 35 lectures. In our case, we have 20 lectures per week. That is 80 lectures a month, almost. We are dealing with a different model. That's very true. We are dealing with masses. I agree to it. But in dealing with the masses, what has happened is we have lost the connect with the masses also. The masses have lost the connect with teaching learning also. And library is out of the picture. So when you say there is no spending on the library, primarily, don't you feel, you made a mention, don't you feel that this is too much of it? This is not too much of it. We are not valuing the library. Library is one place where nobody goes. Library is one place where neither the management, nor the principal, nor the teachers, no one pays a heed. Library is something that is redundant. And therefore, you find there is no spending taking place on the library. I have seen committees writing down, you have to spend 1 lakh rupees on that. Why 1 lakh? Why not 10 lakhs? You're starting computer sciences. Why not 10 lakhs of rupees? So we are manipulating the library because our textbooks sell. I am not against textbooks. I have written textbooks. Kindly don't take it this way. But we are not making our student an independent learner. An independent learner is making him a leader in his life. That is the reason why the budget is 8% to 10%. If you look at central libraries all over India, they spend more than 10%. That is a rule that you have to spend at least 8% to 10%. The central library they are very big primarily because they keep on spending. And as you start spending, the students are made to sit in the library. When you go in the university, there is very little of teaching. There is more of learning. They say, go in the library, sit in the library, find out what you want to say. Write down in 1500 words. No teacher can dictate 1500 words. So it's a story of chained focus. And we have neglected our libraries. Let's be very honest. That is the reason why when we say if the total budget is 1 crore and 8 lakhs is not spent or 10 lakhs is not spent on the library, we feel that's too much of money. If you change the teaching, if the teaching methods are changed, then in that case, if it becomes learner centric, I'll just give you one example over here. This is what I used to do. I used to give a note of 30 or 40 pages to the students for 15 lectures. There were two components in one course, each of 15 lectures. What would happen over there is that after giving that note, I would tell how many of you have Xerox that note in the first lecture. There used to be only 5 hands coming up. After 2 lectures, the story used to be that, all of them have the notes. How many of them have brought the notes? Another 2 lectures you will get that I want the note, it's compulsory. After that, you ask them, now you read the note and I'm going to ask you questions on the first 3 pages. It is only after 7 to 8 lectures, the process would begin very fast. And then it used to complete very fast. There was no issue about it. But then in that case, now the role of the teacher would become the role of a facilitator. So unless we are going to change the mechanism of teaching learning, library is not going to become an important part. This was your answer, Prashant ji.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thanks.
Yeah. We'll take a break of 2 minutes and then we will start again with the next part. Will it be okay or 5 minutes?
Yes, sir. Yes. We can take
Okay.
5.
Yeah, we'll take a break of 5 minutes and then we will start again.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. So good evening again. Let us start again.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, am I audible? I just had two questions related to the previous attribute.
Yeah.
Sir, one question was related to result declaration. Is there
Yeah.
any guideline related to how many days can be taken from the completion of exam to declaration of results?
Yes, it is actually, I think so. There is a, for Maharashtra, it is 45 days, if I'm not wrong.
Sir, for autonomous college, sir.
Yeah, no,
Affiliated, it
this
is 45 days.
maximum
For
is
autonomous,
45 days. That's what comes in. With autonomy, I don't know if it is this any specific. I have not gone through the manual of autonomous colleges. So autonomous colleges come under the same university rules, but it is expected that number reduces. I will like to make a mention of it, like Ruia College last year when they went for NAAC, we were guiding them, one of us, Bode sir, they made a mention that the result they had declared the result in 9 days. So,
Okay.
after completion of the last paper. So effectively it is, up to 15 days. Very commonly I find autonomous colleges completing the result in within less than 15 days or so. So in Pune and in Mumbai, I have seen this 15-20 days, the result is out. I know colleges where, the examination gets over before 30th of April, and many of the colleges are able to declare the result before 10th of May. So their academics start very much in time. In many colleges in Pune and in Mumbai, I have seen they go very precisely. So academic calendar is designed very well over there. And teachers become restless if they say that no, if the exam is to get over, if the declaration, if the last working day is 2nd of May, 1st of May, the exam is over before 1st of May, and maybe by 10th of May the results are declared. So normally 10 to 15 days is a lot of time counted for autonomous colleges. Though it may not be written down, because autonomous colleges will also be working in the purview of the university. So 45 days will still hold valid for them also. But then they try to see to it that their schedules fit in very properly. And that is one big advantage of autonomous colleges.
Okay. And sir, second question was related to remedial lectures. The documents that we generally maintain for remedial lectures is notice, timetable, and the attendance sheet.
Yeah, a
These
photograph.
three documents are enough, right? We don't need a
photograph.
geotag photograph.
A
We need for
photograph.
remedial lectures.
Yeah, but there's something that I want to ask. Can you, because this is a descriptive component that is going to come, how do you identify your remedial student? What is the
Sir,
parameter?
in currently what we are following remedial lectures is for students who are failing in the previous examination.
Yeah.
Currently, the criteria that we
But
follow
there
is
is
that. So
one
those
thing that
students.
because why I'm saying this again, a student may fail for two reasons. One is that he does not understand English. And second is he does not understand subject. So identifying the student, whether his problem is English or his problem is the subject, that is one part where, so we often are not able to give this description that why, how, what is the policy for identifying a remedial student. When I make a mention of COPO mapping, it identifies it out. I'm not saying you do COPO mapping or something like this, but I'm just trying to make a mention of it that in COPO mapping, what happens is the student is identified according to the levels of learning, CO levels of learning. So that,
Yes,
and it is benchmarked. So that makes it very easy. If we are not following that method, how are we identifying the student is going to be an important aspect that we need to know how we are identifying the student. So
Sir, I have a question here.
yeah,
Uh, Sir, usually, every year we used to have this learner assessment examination conducted at the end of 1 month after the first year students join the college to identify the slow and advanced learners.
yeah, go
Hello.
ahead, Bhuma.
So, do we continue to do this
No,
under the
this is
uh,
still not a very scientific method. That's what I am trying to say. This
okay.
still is not you have conducted one or two examinations, let us see.
Hmm.
You have identified who is a failure.
Hmm.
Are you identifying, finding who is why, and so other than what are the other, what could be the other parameters other than these?
Hmm.
This is a big challenge for us. And because we still are, because majority of colleges are affiliated colleges and the system is relatively new because it came into being 20 years ago, let us say in India. 20 years for learning is a very small time. So unless we are, we don't have tech and we are dealing with masses. This is the second issue. What happens with the West is that they are not dealing with masses, so it doesn't make a big issue for them. They're dealing
Hmm.
with 15, 20 students. So where is the student lagging? That you come to know in COPO mapping. You come to know he is not able to cross level 1. He is
Hmm.
not able to cross level 2. He is not able to. Your question papers are set accordingly. That is the way, because so that method needs to be known by the teacher and by the institution, and
Hmm.
that those exercises need to be done. So when the teacher understands, when the question paper is being set that this is this question of 1 mark is for CO1, for CO2, CO3, CO4, CO5, CO6. At what level is the student stumbling and how many of them are stumbling? So you're able to identify one and you're able to identify the entire lot. There it becomes that now what is the aspect that he needs to be delivered, whether it is language, whether it is subject, whether it is both, whether it is something else. So that place, that's important, I mean to say. We are not able to deal with it so well because we are dealing with numbers and we don't use these softwares. Very often management say that, oh, it's very expensive, and teachers are a little reluctant in segregating the data. Actually, it's a very easy process, but they are reluctant. So we are not able to identify our students. You will find if I ask the teacher what is your result, he'll say 92%. But if I ask him how many of them are below 50, in between 40s and 50s, he doesn't have the data. So if let us say out of this 92%, if 50% of students are between 40 and 55, let us say, then in that case, the student has understood, let us say up to 50%. The student has not understood 50% of content. So here the role of the teacher changes. So who should be given a remedial? Very often I find the student is very intelligent, but he does not know English. We say, oh, we gave him a remedial and he passed out. So he was intelligent. He was a good academician. He did not know English. So we need to be analytical, whether it is English or whether it is something else. And I have so many success stories. Just last week, I had a message from one of my students called Ajinkya, who has now written a research paper and is working with he's studying at IISc. This boy was My goodness, it was a very difficult task. He had to be, it was difficult because English was a problem. Family background was a problem. We are talking about differential learning. So when we started that particular aspect, how the question here was, you are able to see support for differential learning. So these are some parts that they have made a mention. The matter is, how do you identify the need for such kind of bridge course, or a remedial course, or an enrichment course, or a language proficiency course? This is the real crux. Anyway, let's go ahead. So I've tried to answer your question, Boom. I hope it is sorted out. Okay. We go with this yet another very important metric, and that happens to be extended curricular engagements. Now, something that you need to understand over, just as criteria, I mean to say attribute 5 was bloody damn important. Here you have yet another very important attribute, and that happens to be attribute number 6. What does it say? Huh? Please understand this. This is very unique. Domain related clubs, activities, and festivals. Now, what is domain related clubs, activities, and festivals? And we don't do this, and they are asking this. What is this domain related? Let us try to understand this. Domain means subject. So, for example, we have a zoo club. Or if you go to Delhi University, they have very fantastic mechanism. DU has around 70 colleges. When the student comes in the college, every year they have some clubs. They say that which clubs do you want? Or there are some clubs which are, colleges are old, so they have their clubs, 15, 20, 30 clubs. Some of them are subject related, some of them are cultural, some of them happen to be something like Kashmiri students clubs, cycling clubs, trekking clubs, football club, zoology club, chemistry club, whatnot. So many clubs. In this club, there are limited number of students. Some clubs are big, some clubs are small. The dance club will have 100 students. Cycling club may have 200 students. Trekking club may have 50 students, but there could be a tabla club which has only 10 students. For every club, there are some kind of processes. There is an election. If there is a clash, there is an election. There is a president, there is a secretary, or there is a president, chairman, secretary, treasurer, other people. They are to make a plan what they are going to do after becoming the chief. They will be giving the plan to the college. Somebody, some committee will be looking at it. They will be giving the plan to the college that we will conduct 4 activities in this year, or we will be conducting 3 activities in the year. They will give the plan, they will work on the plan, they will advertise, they will be provided with money, they will be provided with the room, whatever is needed. They will conduct the activity, they will write the report, they will take the photograph, they will prepare a report, they will submit the report. As a result, the campus is vibrant. Something is going on. Even placements are done by the placement clubs. Students work on it. They will send the mails. They will invite the guest. They will see to it that the guest is given meals. They will see to it that the placement process takes place properly. They will see to it that the pre-placement activities take place. The teacher will guide. The teacher will support. This has been going on for years. So you don't find teachers interfering in this process. Teachers will only support this process. Teachers will only support this process. College will support the process. Effectively, what happens is the total number of participating students is more than the total number of students. Because someone is in one club, someone is in 3 clubs. Now, what is happening in our case? We have a committee, cultural committee. Cultural committee declares that we are going to conduct one event in first term, we are going to conduct one event in second term. Under this event, there will be 5 activities. Under this event, there will be 8 activities. Total number of activities, let us say 14, 15. Total number of events, 2. In this case, there will be 30 events, 40 events, 50 events taking place constantly. So every student is catered. For example, COEP had 51 clubs. 51. Every student is catered. Now, there is one question that every time teachers says, how much work we will do? You are not supposed to do. You are supposed to govern. Student is supposed to work. You are to govern. I remember Ferguson College. I was working there, and at that time there used to be an event called as INSYNCH in sync. It's an old story. In sync was an activity where that time, this I am talking about a story in 1989-90. That time, 57 colleges were participating from Pune and around. 57. No technology then, just try to understand. 57 colleges, more than 4,000 students participating on the campus. Teachers did not even look at it. The campus used to be full of students right from 7:30 in the morning to 11:30 at night. Concerned teachers would look at it. But it creates leaders. This is exactly what they are talking about. See, what are they saying? Total number of domain clubs, total number of activities, number of institutions that participated in domain related festivals, and number of industries involved in it. So what are they saying over here? They are making a mention not only for your children, for everybody. Sari duniya ko bulao. Let the students prove themselves. The best will win. Involve industries, involve other members. Money will come in. They will get advertisements. Number of hackathons, number of workshops conducted. So you are able to see. Yesterday, the form that we filled up is the form that will fill up very well over here. Students will fill up, you will check it out. So details of existing clubs are published in the institutional prospectus or brochure. Report of events, list of students who have participated in it. Just as you had domain-related clubs, subject-related clubs, you will also have cultural clubs. You will have activities. You will have festivals. Now try to understand what we are saying over here. We are trying to have more and more number of students. Some of the students who come to your campus will like your campus, and maybe tomorrow they may take admissions over there. Networks will build up in the students, and therefore they want leadership to come in. Leadership will come in through this way. So it's not only about subject related clubs, it's not only about cultural clubs, it's also about, just a minute, I have just tried to give a little more of it. What are domain clubs? What I have explained. They are typically formed within educational institutions. For example, technology club, business and finance club, science and research club, arts and humanities club, photography, literature circle, photography club, social impact sustainability club, gender equity forum, physics society, bioinformatics clubs, zoology club, botany clubs. So many clubs that you are able to see over here. That's what I have tried to make a mention of. Now, how do they work? I have actually told you. There is a president, there is a vice president, there is a secretary, there is a domain head. They will decide the activities and engagement. It could be a workshop, it could be a seminar, it could be skill building session, it could be guest lectures, it could be expert talks. It could be projects and hackathons, it could be study groups, it could be networking events, it could be competitions, debates, quiz, coding, case studies, etc., etc., etc. So try to understand. If we don't have it, we need to create these now. We need to see to it that our students become vibrant, they become leaders, the leaders come out. For a very long time, we teachers have held everything in our hands. गैदरिंग भी करना है तो हम बताएंगे वैसे ही करना है. निंटी स्टूडेंट से तुम करो हम नहीं आते. So here you are able to see the big difference. There is something more that I want to make a mention of. There are some more clubs, mental wellness clubs, yoga clubs, mentoring clubs, student counseling clubs, training the faculty to identify psychological issues, availability of trained counselors. All these come into these clubs. Value education related clubs that goes with values, ethics, morals, sports club, teams and activities. How many students have gone out to play? How many events you have conducted in your college and you have invited others to come? So you are able to see this is the way it's working out. You need to understand something that's very, very important over here, and that happens to be we are talking about creating new leaders. It's not only about these activities. It is about creating leadership, because tomorrow when the student is going out, he needs to be a leader. And that is what plays a very important role over here. So a variety of clubs, that's what this particular aspect talks about. Now we come to community focused activities. Social awareness and how are the students participating in it. So it could include areas such as, gender improved. It will work with the areas such as improved gender ratio, working in the community, clean village, disease free village, awareness of fitness resources, constitutional awareness, eco-friendly communities, villages, improved literacy levels, empowered women communities, school outreach programs, energy literacy awareness, anything else. I want to speak something over here that is very important. When you look at this community focused activities and you're talking about improved gender ratio, improved gross enrollment, improved clean village, disease free village, awareness about fitness of resources, constitutional awareness, eco-friendly communities, improved literacy levels, empowered women communities. What are we talking about? What are we talking about? We are talking about we first need to have a base level survey. What is the picture and now how we have changed it? So it would be a continuous activity that would go on. More effort that would be needed. If I am going to talk about increased gross enrollment ratio into schools, what does that mean? There is a school in the village. That school has some students. Unless more and more students are going to get enrolled over there, gross enrollment ratio is not going to increase. So it is not just doing Swachhata Abhiyan, taking photos and coming back. They are talking about community-based activities which are to go on consistently and where your role is going to play a big role. This is not easy. If you make a mention saying that some topic that you're thinking of, how are you going to increase? If you say increasing the green cover, you need to take satellite pictures of that area, showing that this is the green cover currently. Every year you are planting 5,000 trees, or you have given 5,000 trees, they have been planted out. At the end of 3 years, now you have a bigger green areas. So you are talking about a 3-year data, not a 1-year event. We gave saplings to the people. Then did they plant it? They must have planted it. Show that you have given them. Show that you have the green cover has increased. How will you show it? It will come through a survey. It will come through improved survey. It would come through satellite images. It will come through some or the other way. They are expecting a much deeper effort than what we normally do in NAAC. This is what I am trying to tell you. And this is a big change that is coming into picture. So this is not going to be that easy. That's what I wanted to make. I'm not scaring, but I'm just trying to tell you the main difference that you're able to see. So I'm trying to tell you over community focused activities. I'm reading it out again. Social awareness activities conducted by the institution in the communities can be illustrated through improved gender ratio. How can an improved gender ratio come in unless you know the original ratio? Unless you know improved gross enrollment ratio, what is the original ratio? You need to have the data. Maybe you may take one school. Initially, there were so many students, so many would live in between. Now, so many are consistently coming for 1 year. They are getting the government benefits. How are you taking care of it? What is your role in it? Is going to play a big thing over here. Disease-free village. How are you going to prove it? Unless you have a data, how can you show that? When you started 3 years ago, this was the picture. Now this is the picture. Your data is speaking out. Who will validate it? Some government official will validate it. Someone will have to validate that data, then and then it would get counted out. Constitutional awareness, eco-friendly communities. I'm just reading it out again. Improved literacy levels, empowered women communities, school outreach programs, the energy literacy awareness, anything else other than this that can be given out over here. So here you are able to see 6.1, 6.6.1 is going to play a big role. 6.6.2, health and hygiene. How many camps have you conducted? Medical camps, blood donation camps, promoting village sports, educating rural students, anything else? Third, 6.63, adoption of villages under Unnat Bharat Abhiyan, certified list of villages along with adapted social awareness activities conducted. Have you taken the village under Unnat Bharat Abhiyan? Have you conducted any activities under it? Have you kept a record of it? Have you submitted that record to the government? So the proof will come that this report is submitted. The proof can be checked over there. So look at this part. This is a changed part, and this is quite rigorous now. You need geotagged photos, you need reports, you need your participation, you need to show it, and that is not so easy. That's what I mean to say. We come to attribute number 7, governance and administration. This is one very important attribute. So all the attributes that you are able to see, they are increasingly difficult to prove. Number 1, this goes with governance, this will go with IQAC. Institutional development plan. Have you prepared it? If you have not prepared it, you need to prepare one. Institutional development plan has clearly stated its vision and mission and is well aligned with the institution has clearly stated its vision and mission and is well aligned with institutional development plan. How? Stakeholder involvement in formulation of the plan. Are your stakeholders involved in the plan? Number 2, displaying the vision, mission, and quality policy in various strategic locations, including the website, brochure, and advertisements. Number 3, the plan along with its long-term goals, operational activities, and clearly defined milestones. You are giving it for 3 years and you have a plan. You have given milestones. In the first year, this will be done. Second year, this will be done. Third year, this will be done. Fourth year, this will be done. Furthermore, regular academic and administrative audit accounts will be reviewed in the institutional activities and will be reoriented towards IDP. So your academic and administrative report must mention IDP. It must make a mention that IDP has the IDP document mention these things and these have been completed. And furthermore, this is not completed. That is where intervention will come in. This is not completed, so it has been modified. That is what intervention comes into picture. So specific intervention strategies and course of correction to realign with IDP strategic plan. कि अगर वो नहीं complete होता है, then how are we completing it? Or what are we doing? For example, during the COVID, we had planned to build a building, but that time COVID came. Now what? The plan is on a lagging strand. We are completing it later on in 2025. So there is an intervention that has come in. That what was to be completed in 2022 is now completed in 2025. Because of so and so reasons. Now, what is the proof? Your meetings. If you have a plan, you will have to follow the plan. If you have a plan, you will have to break it down into parts. Those parts will reflect in the meetings. So consistently, these meetings are taking place and action is being taken on it. Your IDP document, institutional development plan document, your academic and administrative report that makes a mention of this. These are some very important proofs, and What has changed? Those photos will come into picture. Geotag photos of the activities that have taken place and of course of your vision and mission statement. It is a very important part. You will be able to see there are 10 marks for this. This is going to be dependent at multiple places. Second, effective leadership. Effective leadership is reflected to who's a leader over here. This is one question that always keeps on coming. Who's a leader? We think principal is the leader. We are not talking about principal. We are talking about everyone who is a leader. So in other words, principal is definitely a leader. Vice principal is a leader. Head of the department is a leader. A librarian is a leader. They are leading that particular aspect. So how is the leadership effective? Effectivity will come with performance. Effectiveness will come with time. There are two things, effective and efficient. Adequate representation of stakeholders in decision making. Delegation of administrative powers. So when you make a mention saying that we have principal, we have vice principal, we have academic heads, we have deans, we have head of the department, we have office superintendent, you are talking about delegation of administrative powers. When you make a mention of signing authorities, that the head of the department has a signing authority of up to 2,000 rupees per month. Delegation of financial powers. Whether feedbacks are taken on a proper basis, feedback system. And inclusion and diversity in leadership, that is gender cadre, whether there are men who are taking decision, whether there are women who are taking decision also, whether they are into decision making powers. That is what is made a mention out over here. So the organization's chart of roles and responsibilities that would come into picture. University acts and ordinances will need to be kept with us. Proofs. List of statutory committees and its minutes. All important committees and how they are performing. So they need to meet regularly. Attested office procedures for effective communication. Whether there are SOPs created by the office, whether there are SOPs created by the departments, whether there are SOPs at every level, that is going to play a very big role. Proof of feedback mechanism and on governance. How is the governance that comes through the feedbacks? Now, what is it that we are talking now? Just try to understand this question that I wish to ask you. What is it that we are talking about? 90% of time teachers will say so much of work has increased. It is not about work. It is about distribution of work. In our mechanism, what we find, the one who works is loaded with more work, and the one who doesn't work is not at all given any work. So until and unless we set up the accountabilities, and until and unless we see to it that it comes on the paper, things will not start working out. And the proof here is going to come through a paper only. Documentation is going to play a key role. All the time I have been telling you. You just can't say we are a very good team. We have a very good principal. You have. How are the other people? It is quite possible tomorrow, what are the roles and responsibilities of a head of the department will be asked. You have to showcase that document. They will say, have you put it on the website? So here you are able to see we are creating leaders. We are talking about leadership qualities. And we are also talking about everyone working. Everyone is a leader at his place. So how is that leadership effective and efficient to see to it that institutional working takes place? This is what is expected over here in this particular aspect. Now let's go ahead. Yeah. Quality assurance system, that is IQAC. The institution has a dynamic internal quality assurance center or system. It is aligned with IDP. It integrates its activities in institutional committees. It promotes quality with activities such as orientation programs, institutional quality, seminars, workshops, and it practices quality circles. These are the four aspects that they have made a mention of. These are very big aspects. Number one, are they aligned with IDP? It means that have they participated in IDP and are they following IDP, Institutional Development Plan? Second, are they taking care of the institutional committees? इन्हें committees हो रही, committees form की है क्या IQSC ने? Whether those committees are functional, whether minutes and meetings are taking place on time, whether minutes are written down, whether action taken reports are coming in place. That is where IQSC is going to play an important role. Whether IQSC is conducting quality promoting activities such as orientation programs, new teachers के लिए, whether seminars, workshops, quality circles are being conducted. These are the areas that are expected. Composition of IQSC needs to be given. Annual report of IQSC needs to be given. Activities conducted in the meetings, that needs to be mentioned out. Action taken reports need to be created. Short-term and long-term goals of IQSC need to be created, and it all needs to be associated with institutional development plan. This is not difficult. This can be done. We provide continuous mentoring to colleges. And the very first meeting now is a very, very rigorous meeting. We request colleges to go for these mentoring, and they will be benefited. And that proof comes through two AQRs. The AQR that you are going to write down and the AQR that you are going to write down after we have assisted you. This is not advertising. This is just telling you that you can take this benefit. Statutory compliance and public disclosure. This goes with autonomous colleges. This goes with universities. Whether university statutes, ordinances, regulations are formulated as per the statutory guidelines and are made available on the institutional website. This goes with autonomous colleges. So all that the government rules and regulations, whether they have been put up in place, is what they are asking for. Statute, regulation, ordinances framed in accordance with Relevance Act and statutory guidelines. Details of members of different statutory committees and their functions. Who is working in which committee and what is their function? Frequency of meetings. How many meetings are conducted in a year? At least 4. Whether annual report is prepared, whether that annual report is certified, whether there are all necessary circulars of curriculum, academic regulation, academic calendars, etc. etc. उनके रेगुलर circulars निकलते हैं क्या, वो टाइम में बनते हैं क्या? All these things are going to come up and its proofs will go on the websites. Documents will be done, they need to be kept, and proof goes on the website. What does this mean? This ideally means if you have 5 hours for teachings, you have 1 hour and 40 hours, 1 hour and 40 minutes every day. That is 6 hours and 40 minutes. These 1 hour and 30 minutes, 40 minutes are to be used for planning implementation. This entire exercise can be worked out very well provided it is planned and it is implemented as per the plan. And that is where your leadership is going to play a very important role. We come to student employee welfare schemes. Now look at this. In the previous cycle, it was only welfare of the staff. Now it is welfare of the students. So the institution has effective welfare measures for teaching and non-teaching staff and other beneficiaries. क्या क्या हो सकता है? Subsidized interest, interest-free loans, concessions for employees, dependents for and employees dependents for admission, health insurance schemes, support through campus infrastructure facilities, availability of crèche, availability of school, staff quarters, hospitals, etc. Safety audits, whether they are being conducted, maintenance of quality living and ambience, scholarship for needy students, free ships, waivers, medical insurance benefits, and many other things that can come in, all the types of leaves that you're able to see. Necessary policy documents are very important. We conduct a course for workshops on policy writing, and we help the teachers to write down their policies. Furthermore, efforts for employability. Affiliated colleges, autonomous colleges के लिए है. What you are able to see, like skill workshops, whether they are conducted, personality development programs, aptitude development programs, communication development programs, campus interviews, placement drives, job fairs, mentoring, career counseling. So many things are going to come in over here. And you need to have something for everything. All the documents need to be done. Everywhere a report will come on it. Everywhere photos will come on it. Yesterday's format will work fantastically over here. Something very important. How are you handling your grievances? Whether these committees are there, ICC, anti-ragging, counseling center, grievance redressal cell, someone who is taking care exclusively of grievances, one teacher, that would be called as an ombudsman person. Whether an equal opportunity cell is present, whether it is working, what other things are present with you, how are the grievances, what are the grievances, how many types of grievances have you received, have you put your grievances on e-Samadhan portal? That is also going to come very shortly. How are you sorting out your grievances? They will say give 20 grievances that you have received in 3 years. Unless you have a grievance, you cannot do. Very commonly, I find an answer, sir, we don't have any problems only. This is a very common answer. Then I make a mention, sir, there is a family of 3. The husband is not happy with the wife is not happy with the husband, the wife is not happy with the child is not happy with the father. All of them have complaints about each other. If 3 people have so many complaints, you are 3,000. How do you handle? बोले हम देखते ही नहीं है तो बात कहाँ आती है? So grievance handling is going to play a very important role. Furthermore, it needs to be time bound. That's very important. You are able to see if there is one of the government and that particular case has gone in the court now. There was a rape on a lady in one of the states. The entire state was shouting for 3 months. There is no action. The case is pending. We don't know who has raped. We don't know who killed. I'm not talking about any government. I'm not against any government. I'm just trying to tell you. There is no time bound mechanism. That's what I'm trying to say. E-governance. The institution has implemented a policy on Digital India and its e-governance activity. These things are there with us. You are able to see the NAD depository is there, DigiLocker is there, ABC implementation is there, complaint management and paperless office. This needs to come in administration, including complaint management and paperless office. So there is a complaint management system that you have. And if that is there in that particular ERP. Furthermore, finance and accounting through digital systems and use of eSamartha. Now, if you don't have an ERP, you can have a free ERP that is called as eSamartha Governance, which is a government portal. If you don't have an ERP, you can use this ERP. This is for free. So these are some of these are the important questions in 7 point in the 7th. And lastly, how many collaborations do you have? National and international collaborations. Collaborations for student exchange, collaborations for faculty exchange, collaborations for networking and resource sharing, collaborations for joint degree research, collaborations for focused activities of consortium, mentorship programs, research collaborations, industry community collaborations. There are three words: linkage, collaboration, and MOU. Linkage is a very loose association. Currently, we are into a linkage. We don't know whether we will meet again. आज मिले, बात खत्म हो गई. That is a linkage. You go to an institution to see that institution. You give a letter. They say, okay, you come. You go. You show. They see. Linkage. IQC cluster and SIA College Dombivli, Buma madam is over here. They decide that we will work out together, but there is no MOU. Something has come on the paper. It is a collaboration. It could be for 1 year, it would continue or it may not continue, but both of them are going to share some or the other things. Expertise will come from us. The rest of the things will come from you. It is decided that is a collaboration. In a linkage, we will only come to you, we will see and you work. That is a linkage. And in an MOU, everything is drafted on paper and we work together. Every year, at least one activity is done. That is what happens to be an MOU. So we need to understand the difference between a linkage, a collaboration, and an MOU. We are talking about collaboration. This does not apply to affiliated college. This applies to autonomous colleges. These are the things that I wanted to make a mention of. Yes, we can take some questions over here for these attributes. Now, any questions to come? Okay. There is a... Okay. Dr. Anand Manvarji has made a mention saying that, respected sir, can you please elaborate a bit on support for differential learning and sort of proofs needed? We can have a separate program now because we are running short of time. But I would love, in case you approach me, we can do this. It can be specifically for your college or something that can be done. We can do that. If you want it physically, we can do it physically. If you want it in an online mode, we can do that on an in online mode. That is possible. We can do this. Minalji, sir, is it possible? Please once again explaining faculty student ratio. Okay. What is the faculty to student ratio? That is 1:20, for example. See, government has decided how many students should be there for one teacher. That is called as faculty to students ratio. For example, for engineering, for science, it is 1 is to 20, 1 is to 15, depending on whether it is AICT or it is UGC. So that ratio, 1 is to 20 or 1 is to 15, is faculty to students ratio. Now you will say, see, we are teaching, we are a commerce college, we are teaching, and we have 100 students and one teacher at a time. That ratio is not a good ratio because that ratio cannot deliver, that the teacher cannot deliver very well. So expected ratio is 1 is to 15, 1 is to 20. UGC has given its ratio as 1 is to 15 and 1 is to 20. AICT for technical courses has 1 is to 15. Somewhere it is 1 is to 30. So depending on what kind of institution it is and who is the statutory regulatory body that will decide on what will be the number of students. Number of students to number of teachers is what is student to teacher ratio. So for example, if you are 20 teachers, so ideally 20 into 20 into 20, that would be the total number of students that you should have. That number may be more. So that is where student to teacher ratio comes into picture. Well, uh, something more. Anything else to come in? Okay. Take a remedial and diagnostic teaching. Okay, we will like to take, I don't mind. We can do all this. I always suggest that if you as an institution, if you want outcome-based education, we can actually, it's a very, very interesting workshop, which is done physically only. And it's very, very interesting. If you do this, many of these things, they are actually linked up to each other. So many things are linked up to each other, and that will help you out. So Dr. Shaila madam has made a mention, remedial and diagnostic teaching. We can have it sometime definitely, but today now we will be in a limited. Okay, fine. Mm, we can help you. SP College, SP Law College, Nanded. Dr. Manoj Circle Word sir has made a mention as we are preparing for accreditation under binary framework. In other, by 29th, they have made a mention saying that they will be on 28th to 29th. They will be releasing the manual. The framework is will come in the manual. So manual will be very specific questions. We can always guide you. There is no issue about it. It's not put on the website. It will come on the website very soon. To make students employable at national and global level, we need to evaluate at least third or fourth level of Bloom's taxonomy. But for region like ours, we hardly cross second level. How do we cope up with the situations? Dashrathji, this is a very nice question that you have put up. Actually, it's not about the students. To be very, you're talking about the region. Believe me, I don't find any issues with the students. I find issues with the teaching and learning processes. Our students are quite intelligent. They are able to find a way out. The only issue is that we are not able to deliver it out. Unless we come out with fantastic teaching methodologies, unless we make them work, they will not work. This is a big part. If if we are going to say you don't come in the class, it's okay, we will manage your class, we will manage your attendance, and everybody is going to say this, how do you expect teach students to come to the class? They will not come. And if they are not going to come, we will start becoming insecure. If we become insecure, we will not deliver well. This is one big part that you are able to see. For HP has made a mention, do we need approval of university for conducting 30-hour courses? Uh, Ideally, yes, or you can have online courses as mentioned yesterday about the NPTEL and something of that sort. In this entire process, we have not talked anything about short-term 30-hour courses so far. Let's go ahead and see what more comes into picture. Well, any other question? I have tried to answer your questions, but now we need to go ahead. We only have half an hour with us and we have three big Pahlwans to be catered to. Yeah, fine. Yeah, Srinivas Raoji personally makes a mention. Please share this PPT. I will send this PPT to Madam and Madam will share it with you. Manoj sir has made a mention saying that, sir, we are preparing for binary accreditation framework. We need some assistance. We can help you in this assistance for sure. Well, so now let us go ahead with the next part, and that happens to be attribute student outcomes. Yeah. Student enrollment. Percentage of students admitted in the first year. You need a list of students who are admitted in the first year. You will also need sanctioned list of students which comes from the year, from the college, from the university every year. How many students are sanctioned? And you call it as continuation of affiliation. That letter has which programs you have, one part. Then how many seats are sanctioned for that particular year, and then how many seats have been filled up. That is one document that comes. You also have to prepare a list of all the students, principal signs it, university, if it's an affiliated college, university signs it, or stamps it, signs it, or approves it. And then in that case, it goes with the enrollment ID of the student, or it is called as the PRN number of the student, and the roll number of the student. That's how it comes into picture. That is what is to be provided. Document relating to intake of approved students, the extract of sanctioned admission strength for every course that comes into picture. Second part, now what are they saying? This is the enrollment. This took place in first year. In the fourth year, how is the graduate progression? What are they actually keeping one below another? What they are not saying? They are trying to talk about the dropout ratios. Percentage of graduates progressing to higher education, self-employment, entrepreneurship, etc. So you have to tell how many have passed the final. That's the final sixth semester, eighth semester that comes into picture. How many have passed? That is your graduate result, graduation result. Out of them, how many have gone for higher education? Let us say 100 were taken in, 90 have passed. Out of these 90, now these 90 make up your 100%. How many have gone for higher education? How many have gone for employment? How many have got self-employed? How many have become entrepreneurs? How many are going for research? That is what is expected. Number of graduates who progressed per year divided by number of students who graduated in that year. As simple as that. That will give you the percentage. You'll have to give the list of students progressing, appointment orders, certified list of students who are self-employed. You will have to give that they are self-employed. They are entrepreneurs, they are self-practicing, whatever the case is. Furthermore, awards, prizes, recognitions in curricular and extended curricular areas. In academic and additional areas. Number of external academic awards, external, and recognitions received by the student in the assessment period. So university has given a medal, something like that. Number of external awards, medals for outstanding performance in extended curricular activities at state level, regional level, national level, international level in the past 3 years. You have to give the details. सर्टिफिकेट का फोटो, मेडल का फोटो, किसने दिया, जियोटैग फोटो, लेटर्स ऑफ पार्टिसिपेशन. Learning experience, student and alumni. This is something very important. In the previous NAAC, you had 2.7.1. Now you have 8.4, where a survey is done by NAAC, not by you, where database of all the students and on the roll and alumni in the past 3 years needs to be prepared as per the data template shared by NAAC. It will be given by NAAC. You will have to create a data template of current students. You will have to create a data template of alumni. You will have to give the data template of alumni of the past 3 years. It means how connected are you with your alumni? You need to connect. You need to have their phone number. You need to have their mail IDs. अपने बच्चों का एक और प्रॉब्लम होता है जो बताता हूँ, करंट स्टूडेंट्स जो होते हैं, they give one number in the college and they use another number. They change the number. It's very common. They change the number and then it becomes a problem for us. The student says, I have received a mail, sir, but I am not able to open it. When you open it, it says give the phone number. Phone number तो number change हो गया है, पिछला number तोड़ दिया है. Now that number is not there. So their mechanism happens to be such that you receive a mail. When you go on the link, you click on the link, the mail opens. When the mail opens, they say, tell me what is your phone number. That when you open it out, a SMS goes on that particular phone number. You have to fill up that number, code number over there, fill up the code. But if the number is changed, you can do nothing. So we need to see to it that students provide the correct data. एलुमिनी के साथ अपना कुछ संबंध नहीं होता है, अपने एक्चुअल बच्चे नहीं भरते, एलुमिनी कहाँ से भरेंगे? दिस इज गोइंग टू बी अ वेरी बिग चैलेंज फॉर यू. List of students showing enrollment number, name, contact number, email in Excel sheet that has to be provided. We come to attribute number 9, research, innovation and outcomes. External research grants. How much money has come from outside in research projects? Coming from industry, corporate houses, government, non-government resources for research. This was their last time. Benchmark 10 lakhs for a university, non-government, for more than 10 lakhs for a university, 5 lakhs for autonomous colleges, 50,000 for affiliated colleges. That is the benchmark. So, कम से कम उतने पैसे आने चाहिए. E-copies of sanction letters, proof of all the necessary documents that needs to be uploaded. If you have completed, show it complete. Give the report. If you have received all the money, show the necessary proofs. Research publication, something very important. Now UGC care listing is gone. It is not there. So if you say our paper was published in UGC care, it will not be counted. They don't care. Weighted number of peer-reviewed research publications per faculty in the journal listed in Scopus Web of Science. UGC care is gone. As well as conference proceedings and book chapters per teacher. Last time the benchmark was 2 research papers per teacher per year. It was a 5-year cycle. So 5 into 2, 10 research papers in 5 years. Now, the benchmark may not change. Similarly, 2 chapters. Similarly, at least 2 conferences. And entire proceeding being published out. Not in your college, in some other college. That's another important part. So here you are able to see list of links of research papers published in journals, peer-reviewed conference proceedings.
कुठला
Book
की
chapter.
काय मग काल
Book chapters to link an institutional website where first page of paper with author. So here you have to give something very important. The link of the journal is to be provided, link of the research paper is to be provided, and besides it, the first paper is to be put on your website. So in case the link does not open, in case the journal does not open, then in that case, they will look at the link that is given on the website. This is a very important part that they have made a mention. This was the same in NAAC previously also. Research quality. This goes for autonomous colleges. This does not go for affiliated colleges. So you have to calculate your H index. You can calculate it out very easily if you register yourself on Web of Science, not on Scopus, I think so, but most probably on Web of Science. If your institution name is put up, then in that case, you get all the research publications then by your institution in the previous past. And that can be done. That becomes very, very easy over here. But otherwise, you have to calculate it out, and that is what comes into picture. So this is what is expected out over here. We come to the research quality. We have talked about this also. Then citation index and scopus. This has to be calculated out. Now, there is a method for it. Otherwise, you have to find out the number of research papers that you have calculated. You have to find out the total number of citations, and you have to give it. That citation index is available also, but you need to find it out. Then, PhD is awarded. That goes with universities and autonomous colleges. It does not go with the affiliated. It goes, with the PhD awarded, it also goes with the affiliated college. My mistake. PhD is awarded to the students under the guidance of an eligible advisor during the last 3 years. Number of PhDs awarded by the institution during the previous 3 years. Number of full-time teachers eligible as guides. So whether there is a guide available, whether that institution is eligible to give has a PhD center, and whether how many PhDs have they given is what they have asked. Accordingly, the proof would be PhD award letter from the university indicating the name of the PhD student and title of the doctoral study, name of the guide, and also the certificate, the letter to the guide that he is a guide. Then comes research fellowships. This goes only with the university. How many JRFs and SRFs are there? That goes with the university. The certified list of JRF and SRF needs to be put up by the university. Then we come to intellectual property rights, IPR, total number of IPRs produced. Now they haven't kept the question that how many workshops have you done? This goes with autonomous and universities only. This question is not for affiliated colleges. How many IPRs have been produced? How many patents? How many copyrights? How many trademarks? How many geographical indications? Geographical indications are what goes in that particular geographical area. For example, you have a Puneri Pagdi. That is Puneri Pagdi. That is found only in the Pune region. So that's a GI that comes in. Or actually, more than that, a better example rather than the Puneri Pagdi happens to be some kind of weeds growing up, some kind of trees growing up only in that particular area. There is one example in Sinhagad area. There is a special kind of a scorpion which is found only in those hills, in those 10, 12 hills over there. So a GI has come in that this particular scorpion is limited to, it's not identified. It's not that someone has identified that particular scorpion. The scorpion may be identified, but is located in that particular region only. That becomes a geographical indication example that you are able to see. Design registrations are also found over there. Contribution to open education resource. For example, Wikipedia is an open educational resource, OER. If you have written down anything in Wikipedia and if it has been accepted by Wikipedia, then Wikipedia gives you a letter. That's an OER that comes in. You will make a mention that this is a OER available to me from so and so agency. So these are the proofs that you are able to see. These are the things that they have asked for it. Then e-copies of certificates, registration for patents, etc. needs to be provided over here. For autonomous colleges and for universities, what is the consultancy that is being provided? This is one more part that comes in. How many consultancy projects? How many revenue is coming out? This is the part. Number of consultancy projects in previous 3 years. How many training programs have you conducted? For example, management development program for principals or management development programs for management or registrar. Have you conducted anything of this sort? Have you received any funds out of it? Give the details of it. Then any executive development programs for senior faculty or any faculty development program that have been conducted by you, which are sanctioned by the university or by some other institution that you have conducted, and the funds that you have generated in this particular consultancy. You need to give audited statements of accounts. Then you need to give necessary letters, certified copy of statement of accounts needs to come in. Who are the beneficiaries? That also needs to come in over here. This is criteria 7 that you are able to see, or attribute 7. The last attribute goes with sustainability outcomes and green initiatives over here. Community activities for the community. Percentage of students participating in it. NSS, NCC and such kind of bodies, DLLE, NSS, NCC, Scout, etc. Number of students participating in these activities. That document that we worked yesterday, this applies over here also. Number of activities conducted in collaboration with industry, with NGO or with professional body, or number of activities conducted in collaboration with industry NGOs that we have talked about. Total number of community engagement activities conducted. We conducted 20 activities, 10 went with NGOs, some of them have been done with NCC, some of them done, all that details would come into picture over here. Then how many students have participated? Geotag photos will come, list of participating students will come, MOUs may come, collaborations will come, list of activities will come, all that details will be coming out. Then what are the conservation methods for conserve resources and manage waste through rainwater harvesting? Whether there is a borewell recharge. For example, those who are in rural areas, you know it better, that there is a borewell, there is rain. How will that water go in the soil again? So what is done is around the well, if this is a well over there, around it 3 to 4 feet is dug out. Then some graded stones and sand is put up so that water gets filtered out, rainwater gets filtered out, and only relatively purified water goes down. And in this way, the well or the tube well gets recharged out. That is one way that has been mentioned that you are able to see. What has been done? How much of things have you done? How have you helped out the institution? That is what is asked. Rainwater, whether bore wells have recharges have been done, open well recharge has been done, check dams have been built up, percolation tanks have been built up, anything else of that type has been done by you. Then for wastewater recycling plant, do you have that? Or do you have any divided water distribution system for recycled water? Like you have recycled water, you find gray water being generated in the washrooms. So that is cleaned out. Then that is being served to your lawns. That is what they are talking out over here. There could be segregation of solid waste, bio-waste management plants, e-waste, biomedical waste, all these waste, how are you dealing with it? Do you have any MOUs? Do you have any, if you have collected this waste, for example, e-waste, you have sold it, what money have you received? Whether it is to be seen in income expenditure statement, whether you have any MOU for the purchase of this particular aspect, that is what is expected over here. Then what are the alternate sources of energy? Solar energy on your campus, wind, biogas. If it's a solar energy, is it put up on the grid? That is wheeling to the grid. Whether you have any sensor-based energy conservation. For example, you are able to see when you go in a mall, there is an escalator. That escalator is standing quietly. As soon as you go close to it, it starts moving out. That is a sensor-based situation that you are able to see. Or you find in the toilets, in the washrooms, lights are there. Once you enter inside, at that time it automatically goes on. If nobody is going on, it goes off. These are the kind of things that they are talking out. Then how many LED bulbs do you have, and how power efficient equipment are you using? You find refrigerators with 5 star, you find fans with 5 star arrangements. They're asking you about that. And then the facilities, geotag facilities, bills of purchase, government document connecting to the grid. So you find that bill that goes to the grid that comes into picture. Then we come to environmental quality over here. How is it being monitored? Whether you have energy audits, you have carbon sequestration methods, you have anything related to measuring the air pollution, whether you have water budgeting, whether you have green campus, whether you have any audits, whether you have any besides this that is going on the campus. Do you do anything out of the campus activities? All these would come in. A policy document on environmental energy usage, certificates of awards received from the agencies, report on environmental promotional activities, green audit, environmental audit reports, energy audit reports. All these are required as proofs over here. This is what is expected over here. Something more. This is Mr. Piyush Pade. This is his number. This is his mail ID. This is my website. You can always meet me, communicate with me, and your questions are welcome. I would like to take your questions. Any questions to ask, please feel free to communicate. Yeah. Any questions? We have completed 10 criteria or 10 attributes. I keep on remembering it as criteria.
Sir, I have a question.
G.
See, there were certain things which we were following in the earlier process,
Correct.
like mentoring, which was there in AQAR, and it was not there in SSR.
Yes.
So now, what would be the status, sir? Will we have to continue with the mentoring, documentation, etc., or it could be like shown as part of identifying the slow advanced learner and arranging for remedial and various measures?
Whether there is a question on mentoring or not, mentoring is there. How will you identify whether the student wants a remedial course or not? How will you identify the complaint management system that you have? For example, I'm talking about grievances. Mentoring will be the base of the entire institution. When you're writing down your teaching learning methods, your mentoring will come into picture. When you're talking about the clubs, you are going to talk about mentoring. We had talked about the clubs, for example. So mentoring system is not going to go anywhere. Rather, it becomes the backbone of the entire mechanism. So they expect the backbone there. which will reflect in your questions, in your answers. And that is where these things will be. So if you are saying we identify slow and advanced learners, your mentoring is going to play important. They may not have a question on slow and advanced learners, but they are asking it out in an indirect fashion. So mentoring system cannot go. You cannot say, now we don't need a mentoring system. We don't know our students. Rather, this entire system is now going to be data centric. When they made a mention of in one of the questions, they made a mention, how do you deal with your with differential learning over here? That time, do you have the data of your students? We don't have that. How many students are coming from poor families? How many students have single earner? How many students have learned parents? How many students are with multiple siblings? How many of them have more than two siblings? How many of them are single earners in the family? How many of them are single parent children? How many of them do not have parents? How many of them are economically weak? Unless we have this data, IQAC cannot formulate the policies. We don't have this data. Believe me, we are teaching students and we don't know whom we are teaching. 10 years ago, it was easy to identify a student who is economically poor. His clothes spoke it. His way of living spoke it. Today, every student comes in jeans pant. Every student has a mobile of 20,000 rupees. Every student may even come on a motorcycle, but that doesn't mean that his economic situation is good. So unless we become data centric, we will not be able to answer these questions. And this data is going to come to us from our mentors. This data is going to come to us from our questionnaires. This data is going to be analyzed. And the more and more we analyze, the better we will be able to deliver it to our students. When we are talking about governance in criteria 7 over here, I'm to say attribute number 7 over here. The big thing is, do we know our student? Quality lies behind it. We make a mention. How do you identify a slow learner? How do you identify that this particular student needs a remedial? We say he failed in first exam, so we are giving him. So being analytical is a big part of the IQAC. And dedicated effort. Today we are only able to see this, how difficult this mechanism is. Tomorrow, you know what the picture is. You know that in this case, you have to keep on going to higher level. That is the rule that they have put up. Unless we become analytical, we will not be able to do so. This is the big part. Unless we become analytical, unless we work on our data, what is our problem? What is the big difference between colleges in India and colleges abroad? Only one. That happens to be, we don't have data. They work on their data. Maybe we work more than them. Rather, we work more than them, but we don't have data. So we become institutions with a poor quality. Trust me, madam, that a good college loses 20% of data. An average college loses more than 40% of data. When we say we got this grade, Many a times you have done a lot of work, but data is missing, document is missing. And unless we focus on good documentation practices, we will not be able to achieve what we want. Very often my friends and teachers keep on arguing how can this give us good quality? Unless we analyze our data, we will not get a good quality. Unless we analyze our student, we will not understand what he has understood and what he has not understood. Unless we keep on meeting him, we will not understand. Unless we bring him to the college, we will not understand him. So, this is a good questionnaire that has come up actually. Let us wait for the final questionnaire. It is expected to be released on 28th or 29th. The manual, after which we can definitely talk in greater details on it. But we still need that system, without which we will not be able to understand our students. Because we cater to masses, not to classes. I have tried to answer your question, Bhuma madam. Any
Okay,
other question to come?
thank you, sir. If anyone have the questions, please ask the questions to sir. As we are moving towards the final session of the vote of thanks, so if anyone have the questions, so please ask to.
Respected sir, may I
Yeah.
ask one question?
Yes, please.
Sir, myself, Dr. Manwar from Parbhani. My question is specifically related to the research quality.
Yeah.
And in that 9.4 segment or matrices, we are talking about PhD. There you have mentioned that we are supposed to provide a list of guides.
Yeah.
My question is, say for example, my college has say 12 research centers and the staff which is being recognized as guide is number 14.
Yeah.
But along with my research centers, around 30 different guides are associated
Yeah.
from different colleges.
Yes.
So can we count that number?
Currently, what will happen if you count that number? Total number of teachers will vary.
Yes, definitely.
And then it will be difficult. Now, until and unless that the final manual makes a mention how many of the teachers from other colleges or universities are your guides, this will not be answered. But there is something that I want to make a mention. This was there even in the previous NAAC cycle. Now, there is a column called as any other, or any additional information or notes that comes into picture. Very often we think so that is not needed, that's not very important. We try to avoid it out. We need to fill up those columns also. Such information can go in over there, and along with it some data can also be given.
Right.
So, they may count it or they may not count it, but it will definitely impact at some point of time. So,
Right.
because they are not your teachers, they are affiliated to the institution. So, they are not being counted as your teachers. But definitely you are trying to make your point, saying that we are providing a
Holding hand.
facility that student may be from any place, teacher may be from any place. That teacher is unable to give his guide services because in the college where he is working, that infrastructure is not sufficient. We are able to provide this infrastructure, and so this additional facility has come in. So if it doesn't reflect in the main question, it can reflect definitely in any other aspect. There it can be counted out, and it
Right.
will come there.
Thank you very much, sir, for your.
Yes. Any other question?
Thank you, sir, for your in-detailed guidance regarding the new binary NAC accreditation system. So here with I am going to present the vote of thanks for our 2 days sessions. So respected dignitaries, colleagues, and dear participants, good evening once again. As we draw the curtains on this enriching 2 day workshop on assimilating binary NAC and maturity-based NAC accreditation mechanism, it is great honor to deliver the vote of thanks on the behalf of IQSC cell of Science College Nanded. First and foremost, I take this opportunity to express our sincere gratitude to guiding pillars of this institution, our patrons from Nanded Education Society, Honorable Dr. Venkatesh Kabde sir, Honorable Dr. C.A. Praveen Patil sir, Honorable Mrs. Shamal Patki ma'am, Honorable Mr. Praful Agrawal sir. Your constant encouragement, visionary leadership, and commitment to institutional excellence have made this initiative like this workshop is possible. We are truly grateful for your support. Next, I extend our deepest thanks to our distinguished speaker and resource person, Mr. Piyush Pahade sir, President IQAC Cluster India. Sir, your well-structured session over these 2 days illuminated the nuisance of the new binary NAC framework and maturity-based accreditation system. Your focus on documentation strategies, assessment readiness, and common pitfalls offered great clarity to all participants. Your expertise has been the backbone of this workshop's success. We all are also thankful to Mrs. Shamal Patki ma'am, Secretary, Nanded Education Society, for kindly gracing us as a chief guest on day first. Madam, your address was not only just inspiring, but also the strong reminder of the importance of preparedness and quality in the higher education institution. Thank you for your motivation presence. I must acknowledge and thank our convener, Dr. L.P. Shinde sir, Principal of Science College Nanded, whose vision and leadership enabled this workshop to take this shape and progress so smoothly. Also, I take this opportunity to thank Professor Shukla ma'am, Principal, Science College Nanded, for the support. A special word of appreciation goes to our organizing secretaries, Dr. Vibhati Kulkarni ma'am, Dr. V.R. Marathi sir, Dr. K.R. Gaikwad sir, Dr. Prashant Sutkar sir, and also who also anchored this session with grace and punctuality. To our dynamic organizing team, Dr. D.R. Munde sir, Dr. Bodkar ma'am, Dr. D.M. Jadhav sir, Dr. Mr. Gautam Wagmare sir, Dr. P.R. Kulkarni sir, Mr. Dulewat sir, Mr. Ghatole sir, I sincerely thank you for all your hard work, collaboration, and attendance to detail throughout the planning and execution of the program. To all the participants, college principal, IQAC coordinator, faculty members, researcher, and all academic leaders, thank you for your encouragement, engagement, questions, and reflection that added depth and meaning to every session. Lastly, a warm thank you, our technical staff, administrative support team, and volunteers who work tirelessly behind the scenes to ensure that every aspect runs smoothly. Let us now move forward, equipped with the new perspective, better strategies, and a clear understanding of the evolving NAC framework. Thank you once again. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Sir. Ghatole sir, I request you to end the meeting.